the turbo lift. Then head down to the escape pod base. Those droids are programmed to return you to Batuu. Hurry and don't be caught.
Who picked these two droids anyway?
Imagine stepping into a rebel base, your heart racing as you're recruited for a secret mission. But what if that mission goes horribly wrong? In Rise of the Resistance, Disney transforms you from a theme park guest into the hero of your own Star Wars story. But how do they pull off this galactic feat? As the mission briefing concludes, guests board a transport ship, believing their journey is just beginning. But what if the ship isn't destined for a resistance base? How does Disney transform a simple transport into a high-stakes galactic pursuit, seamlessly shifting guests from allies to captives? The boarding process onto the transport ship marks a crucial transition in the Rise of the Resistance experience. Disney Imagineers have crafted a convincing illusion of space travel, utilizing advanced technology to create the sensation of movement and interstellar flight. As guests step into the transport, they're greeted by the familiar hum of engines and the subtle vibrations of a ship preparing for launch. If you're enjoying this content, please consider subscribing for more. The transport's interior is a marvel of design, featuring authentic Star Wars aesthetics and functional elements that reinforce the illusion of being aboard a real spacecraft. View screens flicker to life, displaying the starfield outside and providing crucial mission information. The floor beneath the guests' feet subtly shifts, simulating the motion of takeoff and spaceflight. This initial phase of the ride serves a dual purpose. First, it further immerses guests in the Star Wars universe, transitioning them from the Resistance base to active participants in an unfolding mission. Second, it sets the stage for the unexpected turn of events that will propel the story forward. As the transport seemingly travels through space, Disney employs a combination of visual effects, sound design, and physical movement to maintain the illusion. The view screens play a crucial role, showing the transport's progress through space and past familiar Star Wars celestial bodies. Meanwhile, the ship's interior reacts to the supposed motion, with lights flickering and equipment responding to the journey's progress. Just as guests begin to settle into what they believe is a routine flight, the experience takes a dramatic turn. First Order TIE fighters suddenly appear on the view screens, intercepting the transport and transforming a simple mission into a high-stakes encounter. This narrative twist is a pivotal moment in the ride, elevating the stakes and deepening guest immersion in the Star Wars storyline. The sudden appearance of TIE fighters is more than just a visual effect. Disney Imagineers have synchronized the on-screen action with physical sensations within the transport. As the First Order ships attack, the transport shudders and banks, creating a visceral sense of danger and urgency. The once calm interior erupts into a flurry of alarms and frantic communications, further selling the idea that guests are now caught in the middle of a space battle. This unexpected turn of events serves as the crossing of the threshold moment in the hero's journey narrative structure. Guests are abruptly thrust from their familiar world, the Resistance base, into the unknown and dangerous realm of the First Order. It's a moment of no return, where the adventure truly begins and the stakes become painfully real. The transition from the transport ship to the Star Destroyer is perhaps one of the most technically impressive and seamless elements of the entire ride. As the transport is seemingly pulled into the Star Destroyer's hangar bay, guests experience a shift in their environment that's nothing short of magical. Disney faced significant technical challenges in creating this transition. The goal was to convince guests they had been physically moved from one spacecraft to another, all while maintaining the illusion of continuous movement in space travel. This required a complex interplay of visual effects, physical set changes, and carefully choreographed guest movement. As the transport's doors open, revealing the cavernous interior of a First Order Star Destroyer, guests find themselves in a fully realized life-size set. The scale and detail of this environment are staggering, with towering ceilings, rows of parked TIE fighters, and squads of stormtroopers standing at attention. The transition is so seamless that many guests are left wondering how they were transported from one physical space to another without noticing. This moment of transition represents a crucial turning point in the Rise of the Resistance experience. Guests have now fully crossed the threshold into the heart of the adventure, finding themselves captive aboard an enemy vessel. The familiar confines of the Resistance transport are left behind, replaced by the cold, imposing architecture of the First Order. Trapped aboard a Star Destroyer, guests face a new challenge: how to escape without getting caught. But creating a sense of genuine peril on a theme park ride presents its own set of obstacles. How does Disney maintain the illusion of danger while ensuring guest safety? Disney's Imagineers have masterfully crafted an experience that immerses guests in the heart of a Star Wars adventure while prioritizing their well-being. The ride employs advanced technology and storytelling techniques to create a convincing sense of danger without compromising safety. Immersive set designs and responsive animatronics work in tandem to react to guests' presence, enhancing the feeling of being pursued by the First Order. As guests navigate through the Star Destroyer, they encounter iconic Star Wars elements that heighten the tension and urgency of their escape. Stormtroopers patrol the corridors, their movements and interactions carefully choreographed to create a sense of immediate threat. Towering AT-ATs loom overhead, their massive presence adding to the overwhelming scale of the First Order's power. Perhaps most intimidating of all is the appearance of Kylo Ren himself, whose menacing presence serves as a constant reminder of the peril guests face. The trackless ride system plays a crucial role in maintaining the unpredictability and excitement of the experience. This innovative technology allows ride vehicles to move freely across the floor, following complex and seemingly random paths. Radio frequency identification, or RFID, is a wireless technology that uses radio waves to identify and track objects and people. Riders board vehicles that utilize wireless charging, as well as RFID pucks in the floor to give the vehicle position data and allow it to navigate the attraction without a track. The ride vehicles use LPS, or Local Positioning System, so it knows where it is within the building. This is especially important considering the attraction runs on 2 floors. The result of this technology is a dynamic and fluid journey through the Star Destroyer, where guests never quite know where they'll turn next. This unpredictability adds to the feeling of a real-time escape, as if the ride vehicle is actively evading capture. Ride vehicle design and capacity have been carefully considered to balance immersion with practical concerns. Each vehicle accommodates a small group of guests, fostering a sense of intimacy and personal involvement in the unfolding story. The compact size of the vehicles also allows for more intricate maneuvers and closer encounters within the set pieces and characters, further enhancing the realism of the experience. During both the loading and unloading of guests, the vehicle sits on a rapid charging station to quickly charge when the vehicle is at rest. Disney has implemented various accessibility features to ensure that as many guests as possible can participate in the adventure. For those with mobility challenges, cast members are on hand to assist with transfers from wheelchairs or scooters to the ride vehicles. This attention to inclusivity demonstrates Disney's commitment to creating experiences that can be enjoyed by a wide range of guests. The height requirement for Rise of the Resistance is set at 40 inches, striking a balance between safety considerations and maintaining the ride's intense nature. The threshold allows younger Star Wars fans to participate in the adventure, while ensuring that all riders can safely experience the various elements of the attraction. Managing wait times and crowd control for such a popular and complex attraction presents significant challenges. Disney employs strategies such as rider swap to accommodate families and groups with varying ride eligibility. This system allows adults to experience the attraction without needing to wait in line multiple times, helping to manage crowd flow more effectively. Despite these efforts, the sheer popularity of Rise of the Resistance can lead to frustrations for some guests. Long wait times are not uncommon, and the complexity of the ride system means that technical issues can occasionally cause delays or temporary closures. Disney continues to refine its operation to address these challenges, balancing the demand for this cutting-edge experience with the need to maintain a smooth flow of guests through the attraction. The technology behind Rise of the Resistance extends beyond the ride itself. Disney has integrated the attraction into its broader park management systems, using data analytics and real-time monitoring to optimize guest flow and minimize downtime. This behind-the-scenes technology works in concert with the visible elements of the ride to create a seamless and efficient experience. As guests navigate through the Star Destroyer, Disney's technological marvel reaches its crescendo. But how does the ride transform from a harrowing adventure into a triumphant escape? The final act of Rise of the Resistance holds the key to completing each rider's hero journey. The escape sequence is designed to create a climactic and satisfying conclusion, leaving guests feeling like true heroes of the Star Wars saga. Disney's Imagineers have crafted a series of intense encounters that heighten the stakes, culminating in a successful escape from the Star Destroyer. This final act aligns perfectly with the completion of the hero's journey narrative arc, transforming guests from passive observers to active participants in the Star Wars universe. As the escape begins, guests find themselves in a frantic race against time. The ride vehicle, utilizing its advanced trackless system, weaves through the Star Destroyer's corridors with a newfound urgency. The once orderly interior of the ship now appears chaotic, with alarms blaring and emergency lights flashing. This shift in atmosphere signals to guests that their actions have had real consequences within the story world. The technology behind Rise of the Resistance truly shines during this sequence. The ride system seamlessly blends physical sets with digital projections, creating a dynamic environment that reacts to the guest's presence. As the vehicle dodges blaster fire and narrowly avoids capture, guests experience a sense of urgency in their escape. The trackless system allows for unpredictable movements, enhancing the feeling that each escape is unique and dependent on the rider's actions. One of the most impressive technological feats occurs during the final moments of the escape. As guests approach their exit from the Star Destroyer, they encounter a massive hangar bay. This set piece combines physical props with large-scale projections to create the illusion of a vast space opening up before them. The ride vehicle appears to teeter on the edge of the hangar, building tension before the final plunge to safety. The actual drop from the Star Destroyer is a masterclass in combining physical sensations with visual effects. While the distance traveled is relatively short, Disney's Imagineers used a combination of motion platforms, wind effects, and projected imagery to simulate a much longer fall. This sequence creates a visceral thrill that serves as the climax of the entire experience. After 18 minutes of pure excitement, guests land back on Batuu. They're greeted with a sense of triumph. The transition from the high-stakes escape to the relative calm of the planet's surface is designed to reinforce the guests' role as heroes who have completed their mission. This moment of relief and celebration is crucial in solidifying the emotional impact of the ride. The successful escape from the Star Destroyer not only resolves the immediate conflict, but also reinforces the guests' transformation into active participants in the Star Wars universe. By overcoming challenges and ultimately triumphing over the First Order, guests complete their personal hero's journey. This narrative structure, deeply ingrained in the Star Wars mythos, is now experienced firsthand by each rider. Rise of the Resistance's lasting impact on the theme park industry cannot be overstated. The ride has set new standards for immersive attractions, combining cutting-edge technology with masterful storytelling. Its popularity has remained consistently high since its opening, with guests often citing it as a highlight of their Disney experience. The ride's success lies in its ability to make guests feel like they're living out their own Star Wars adventure. By blurring the lines between passive entertainment and active participation, Rise of the Resistance has redefined what's possible in a theme park attraction. This level of immersion has raised guests' expectation for future rides, challenging other parks and designers to push the boundaries of storytelling and technology.